Right, good morning. What a great day, okay? What a great day. Oh, why am I playing this? Listen to this bad boy. Down, down, down,
You
down.
can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. You can get anything you want at
Alice's restaurant. Brilliant song. The original by Arlo Guthrie. Okay. Why are you playing songs about restaurants, sir? It's Friday. Are you going out to a meal? No, sir, you can't, because of course it's not Liberation Day yet not Liberation Day, Independence Day or whatever it is on July the 4th. Restaurants aren't open yet. But the restaurants are open in the magical worlds of your imagination. So I'm very pleased to report, apart from the fact that my hair, I don't know what's going on with it, it definitely needs a haircut. And barbs have opened. Why haven't I been yet? I'm very pleased to report I've had loads of work in and some fantastic restaurant work. It's just been a delight to read. I particularly like all your calamities, the things that go wrong. Some of which are a little bit strong, Mia. So, but I was laughing. Alice, yours was amazing. Che, and who else? Said Mia, haven't I? It's just there's loads of it, and I'm really enjoying reading it. And your choice of restaurant, oh yes, he's in. Your choice of restaurants is good as well. A lot of you are choosing Italian, and I've got a Turkish and a Chinese and I think that's it actually. I think even though quite a lot of you have sent the work in, it's quite clear what your favourite restaurants are, your favourite foods are. Italian, I think, is winning, followed by Chinese, then Turkish. I love all three. I could go to a restaurant where they just sold Italian, Chinese, Turkish food. I'd have the lot all on one plate. Please remember, children. I said mocktails. Okay, this is a children's program. All right. So some of your restaurants, they seem to sell all sorts of drinks, which I certainly would not approve of. Although mums and dads, I'm sure, because they're with you in your little plays that you're writing for me, would much rather those sorts of drinks were on sale. But it's not official; it doesn't come from me. What else? Your little art projects are just astounding. Okay, I had the best ever from Holly. So I've had two which just blow everything out of the water so far. I've had Holly this morning, and I had Fraser, of course, both of which are just fantastic. Now, I'm going to send them to Mr. Slater first, just to check, because obviously I can't be distributing these incredibly elaborate photos around. The permissions involved, but I know Mr. Slater will enjoy them, and even if I just send them to your art teacher, they may be put up on the corridor or something next year. I don't know, but they're fantastic. They're really, really good. I said to Holly today how, because I'm not an art teacher, but what is the link? Well, Holly sent me a rendition of a picture called The Nightmare, which is the one where the woman's sort of draped asleep and there's this sort of little devil squatting on her chest, which is representative of the incubus, this demonic spirit that was meant to visit you at night. And also there's a head poking around the corner of horse. Okay, now nightmare, if you think about the etymology, the derivation of the word mare, not meaning sea but meaning horse, it's a sort of Norse folk mythology, this idea that this sort of, I guess it must be from being crushed by a horse, But this thing would visit you at night, and it's kind of like being carried away by the horse on these dreams or nightmares, which is, I mean, it's amazing. I hope I can put it into a winner's PowerPoint, but like I say, I'm just going to check with Mr. Slater. So far, so good. So just a double reminder, today is deadline 1. Monday if you absolutely must, but on Monday I will be setting you a new project, because from Monday, that gives us about 3 weeks, doesn't it? And if all is well and good, then I'll probably be seeing you sometime in the last, the penultimate week. Okay, if you're able to get in, which I cannot wait to do. That's going to be fantastic. What else, sir? Tell us some history. You're so cross-curricular, sir. I know. True learning is cross-curricular. All right? You better believe it. All right? English is from the great well of history. Going back to what I was saying earlier. So, after looking at this fantastic edition of this picture called The Nightmare, I did say to Holly, what's the link to English? Well, it's really clear to me. If you think about some of the great works of literature, obviously Frankenstein immediately comes to mind, and Dracula, all the great Gothic pieces. So then you also think of Wuthering Heights. The opening scene of Wuthering Heights is just the most horrendously graphic and terrifying nightmare. It's one of my favourite books. I've read it God knows how many times. And then, of course, another of my favourites, my absolute favourites, Metamorphosis, Franz Kafka. Okay, so it goes on and on and on and on. Writers are almost a little bit obsessed with the idea of nightmares, because they can be fascinating and terrifying in equal measure. And what's not to write about if something is fascinating and terrifying? That is the great quarry of writers, isn't it? So getting back to, I don't even know what day it is actually. Oh yes, I do. It's the 26th, of course. Oh dear, that's interesting. Yeah. Oh. Dear me. George III died on this day in history. Now I should know the date of this. Oh yes, it was 1830. I do apologise. Followed by George IV, so he was the third in the Regency dynasty. But of course, George III was quite famous for being completely insane and very fat. And there's a film which you can watch, and it's quite a funny film, and it's called The Madness of King George III. Little bit grown up, but nothing inappropriate, and but very funny. And what is even doubly funny about it is that when they came to release the film in America, The Madness of King George III, they had to change the name because, and I know this is generalising about Americans, and I don't like generalising, but apparently the average American audience was so stupid that when they saw the title, The Madness of King George III, they just went, by gosh, I ain't seen The Madness of King George the First. I ain't seen the first one yet, or the second. So they didn't really get it. It's like going to see Jaws the Third, which is a terrible film, by the way. Don't watch Jaws 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 in 3D. There is only one Jaws film, and it is that. I mean, that's a nightmare as well. Flipping Nora. Can you imagine that? Being eaten by a shark? I can't. Well, actually, no, I can. And that's why I don't like swimming in the sea. Because I definitely will be eaten by a shark. Even if one bites me or just nibbles me or just nudges me a little bit with its snotty shark nose, it scare me to death. Shark bogies on you. So there. So thank you very much for my wonderful start to the day. I am more than over the moon, even though the clouds have come back over, and I think it's going to be quite an oppressive, hot and sultry day. Okay, that reminds me of the start of The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. It was a hot and sultry day, the day they hung the Rosenbergs. That's another great book to read when you're a little bit older. Okay, I'm going to go off and do some work, and I will see you over the weekend. Please get some work to me to mark, especially the artwork and especially the restaurant work, because I really am enjoying it. Alright, have a lovely day and a great weekend. See you on Monday. Did it quite sensitively then, did you notice? Just sort of gentle. See ya.